Welcome back, folks, to episode 43 of the Wet Shavers Roundtable. I am Douglas Smythe from PhoenixArtisanAccoutrements.com, and with me today, I have, well, as per usual, David Gonzalez of, let me invite Scott, of SoSharpLimited.com, and joining us right now, Mr. Scott Ostermiller of TheCleanShaver.com, and our very, very, very special guest today, Mr. Adam Lindberg of Stubble Trubble out of Houston, Texas.
Stubble Trubble.
And I got my Houston shirt on.
Nice. Representing.
Yeah, representing in solidarity. Very stoked to have Adam with us today. Been seeing a lot of Adam lately on the scene, be it at meetups or just on Facebook and other forums as well. He's getting a lot of traffic, a lot of noise, a lot of buzz around his soaps because they're awesome.
For good reason.
Welcome to the show, Adam.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys. I'm excited.
Welcome, man.
Yeah, it's really great to have you.
Yeah, it's good to have you here, man. Good to have. Hey, I had a question. Was Pirate Cowboy at the Big Shave West? Did you have it in stock over there? Because I wanted to purchase that damn soap, and I couldn't find it anywhere. I seen every other scent, but that Pirate Cowboy I wanted, and I couldn't get it.
It was there.
I'm saying Damon has some there still. Man, they moved pretty quick. And that's one of the most neutral scents, you know, people really gravitate towards that one. So, you know, it may have been gone, but I looked and I swear at the end of the event, they were there. So
they were there.
I could have sworn I didn't see it. I seen them lined up, and I don't know if I'm just retarded or what, but I swore that it wasn't right there. But my wife gets pissed off at me because I could never find anything. So I guess,
well, you know,
this probably is
that event too, man. Those guys were so, you know, I think everybody was just overwhelmed, man. I kept going over there and kind of fixing my soaps a little bit too, because, you know, there was so much traffic in there. I don't think anybody planned that. I'm talking hundreds of people just descended upon that shop like a wrath.
It was awesome.
You know?
Hey, I like how last week Douglas said that we were gonna not talk about the Big Shave West going forward because we've been talking about it for like about the last 2 months, and here we are again with another vendor from the Big Shave West. The Big Shave West will never die.
Yeah. No, it'll just multiply, it seems. So yeah, we got that going on. Sorry, guys, I have to renege on my statement of last week. We actually probably will be talking about the Big Shave West. And so, for those of you who are new to the show, we just kind of jumped right into this. This is the Wet Shavers Roundtable. It's an interactive, live, wet shaving talk show, TV style almost, YouTube-wise. But you've figured that out, of course. What makes this show what it is, really, is audience participation. So you people in the audience, over here or over there, wherever you are, you really, you know, you keep the show, you're the lifeblood of the show and keep it going. So the first half an hour, we're going to be like picking Adam's brain. And the last half an hour of the show, we'll be opening up questions to the audience. So talk amongst yourselves, make fun of us, do whatever you got to do. We're here for you, and you're here for us, hopefully, today. Thanks for your support, and let's make this happen. So, Adam, Lindberg, now, are you any relation to Charles Lindberg?
No, I have people ask that all the time, and it's like the one baby he had was taken, which is sad, but no.
So that's true. You are not the Charles Lindbergh baby.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, is it Lindbergh cheese or Lindberger cheese?
Limburger cheese.
Okay. That's all I got for questions. Show is over. No. Okay. Well, we're going to start where we typically start, and everyone's used to this. Is we just want to know how you got into the wonderful world of wet shaving, Adam. How and where and why did it begin for you?
Well, so I thought about this week and how I was going to start with it. So I'm actually going to start with how things went for me in high school. I had really sensitive skin in high school. I played sports, and I got really sensitive skin, and I had a lot of irritation already. I don't know if you're familiar with Accutane. It's an acne drug where it's like super, super aggressive. I had to take that a couple of times. So my skin's always been very sensitive. I break out easy. And just shaving's never been fun for me. And I want to say, God, I'm 32 now, 14 years, I pretty much trimmed my beard. You know, I always had a little bit of scruff. Every time I used like a mock, whenever they came out with a new one, I would grab one, you know, and I'd be like, this is going to be the one that finally works.
Yeah.
And it never worked. It just tore my face up. And a couple years ago, Jen, my girlfriend, y'all all met her. She's lovely. I saw people kind of talking about this. I saw the Art of Shaving, and I was like, that's pretty expensive. They make great stuff, but I was like, I can't afford an $80, $90 razor. And so for Christmas, I asked for a razor, and she got me the Merkur 34C and the How to Grow a Mustache Frostbite. Frostbite was the first soap. Well, I thought about it. I was like, if I'm going to get something, and shaving's as bad as it's been, I'm going to get something with menthol, something cooling, just calming for the skin. And not knowing it, the first blade I used was a feather blade.
Surprise.
It didn't go as bad as I thought it was going to go. I had some weepers and stuff like that, but I wasn't like all jagged faced and everything like that. Like I didn't look like someone took a hatchet to me.
But the thing is, when you start with a feather, where do you go from there? It's like.
Well, it was funny. I had the sampler pack, the feather, the Astra, and the Derby,
Okay.
The feather actually worked out pretty good the first time. Then I tried it the second day, like the exact next day, and it was definitely a little bit harsh.
Right.
But
that's interesting because I know a lot of people that actually prefer a feather on the second day.
I'm one of those people.
Yeah.
The first day with the feather is really bad for me, but then the second day is really good.
Yeah, but if he was new to it, if he was new to the whole feather thing, he might have just acclimated to it, being his first.
Yeah.
It's possible.
Feathers are...
Mantic thinks your girlfriend's hot, by the way.
Yep.
Feathers for me are one of those blades where it's like, it's not a 2 days in a row. If I use it, I use it one day and then I'll like skip a day.
Oh, okay.
I just can't, I can use like Astras every day, which is a semi-sharp razor, a blade, but
yeah,
there's just something about feathers are just tough. But from that point on, I was kind of hooked, and then I ordered 3 more. Well, I couldn't find How to Grow a Mustache because it had turned into Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements. I started calling all these shops that were online that had phone numbers.
If you just went to our page, it would take you.
Yeah,
it would take you to Phoenix.
Well, yeah,
kind of.
But and then I found the Beach, Gondolier, and God, what was the other one? I don't remember what the other one was. But after that, I fell in love with the Beach, and I really liked Gondolier with that classic just barbershop scent. And then from there, it was Soap Commander, and man, it's gotten overwhelming.
Yeah.
And I got a few other razors, and I just kind of, I can shave every day now without complaint, and
that's the thing. When were you diagnosed with sensitive skin? How old were you?
I started breaking out a little bit when I was like in junior high, and then in high school, freshman year for football, just because you do 2-a-days. And I went to Katy High School. We were a big football school.
Sure. When did you start shaving?
You were in Texas, right? You're in Texas, please.
Yeah, Texas, South Texas. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a lifestyle over there. It's not even just. It's on another level out there.
They made it illegal now to have 2-a-days. You can't have 2-a-days here.
Yeah.
Because kids were dying.
Yeah.
Kids were dying.
Oh, it's the same thing here in California, which was usually known as Hell Week. We can't have that anymore. So it's a shame though, because it's just, as long as you take care of the kids, I've never had an issue, but you got a lot of work done and really toughened up some kids on those days. But
I remember going to the bathroom and peeing, and it felt like I was peeing Jello. So that kind of
follow me on this, guys. Though. So how old were you when you started shaving? Adam? Like around the same time?
16. Yeah, 16.
16.
And just the fuzz. You just have that little bit of fuzz where it's just not much. But by the time I was 18, I kind of had like a full-on blonde beard at that point. But when I was 18 was when finally the doctor was like, well, we have a family friend that's a dermatologist, a really good friend of ours. And we tried some other things. I'm talking like they put like acid on your face, all sorts of stuff before they try all this. It's like super unpleasant.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, they say a lot of these people say they have sensitive skin. And I'm definitely one of the more extreme cases, I think. But really, really sensitive skin is just, you can't get near starch. You can't really touch your face a lot. But from that point on, after Accutane, which is a horrible experience, they got to take your blood once a month. Right. I'm saying they got to,
And Accutane, is that a pill or is it a cream or what is that?
It's a pill that they wean you into. Like your first month, you get dosed in, and then it's it's almost like antipsychotics. They literally, once it's in your system, you have to take it every day to keep it in your system, and you do it for like 6 months, depending on how bad your case is. But I had to do it.
Yeah, because I had that issue with football that I had almost like breakouts along my chest and back, like in the shape of the shoulder pads.
Yeah.
And they just gave me like an antibiotic called doxycycline.
Yeah,
that was.
They gave me that too. They gave me a couple different versions of those, and they just wouldn't work. But just facial problems, just always had issues. Never really been able to touch my face. And then you also get nervous about it, so you pick at your face, or you have your hands on your face a lot. You just shouldn't be touching it,
Yeah.
So I never really
out of balance. And the reason why I bring it up is because a lot of people, as you said, think they have sensitive skin or say they have sensitive skin, including myself. And I realized, a few years back that I gave myself sensitive skin from using cartridge razors and whatnot, and not changing them often enough. So they were diseased already, and I'm rubbing on my skin was just pretty much out of balance. I never had breakout problems or something like that. But, I get hives and whatnot. If flour or starch, like you're saying, I work in a cafe and a bakery, so stuff like that would be agitating. But, it turns out it was the cartridge razors that were doing it, taking off layers and layers of skin, again, not changing the cartridges enough. I tried to get a month use out of one blade. So, but in my mind, when I came over to wet shaving, still, I had sensitive skin. I have sensitive skin. I would tell people that. And it's like, no, I no longer had sensitive skin. It was just but it burned in my brain that I did. And so I think there are a lot of people out there like that. And I was just wondering if maybe that was what was going on with YouTube. But you see this, yours sounds a little more, well, I don't know, it sounds a little deeper.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds legitimately like that, because I had that same issue that you had, Douglas. I'm not very sensitive now, but using cartridge razors, which I would get in trouble with my jobs that I was working at being hairy because I just didn't want to shave because I'd break out, I'd itch, and it just be really uncomfortable. And my skin's not generally sensitive, but regular shaving would tear me to pieces.
Yeah, well, and also you got to recognize that, I don't know where you all grew up. Well, I think you grew up on the Northeast, Douglas. David, did you grow up in California?
Yep, Southern California my whole life.
And Scott, you? Yeah.
Yeah, I born and raised in Utah, so.
This is a really humid climate. So aftershave bombs and all that stuff too come into play here. It's it just feels like you'll have oil on your skin all day.
Yeah, it feels heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the summers I couldn't do those in New England.
And I hear that Houston. Yeah, I hear that Houston humidity, man, will just knock you on your ass if you're not from there. And you show up, I hear it just destroys people.
This is not a friendly environment for skin, and shaving and just razor burn and everything involved,
People were never meant to live in Texas. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. I have family up north that can't come down here during the summertime. I remember my grandma from, I believe it was North Dakota, she's kind of come down here because she's gotten older and she just stays inside. She's like, no, I can't.
Well, so, we've strayed so far from your introduction, Adam. I'm so sorry. We just want to help you. We want to get to the bottom of your skin problem from 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Seems like you already did.
Yeah. So soap. He made soap.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of it got into check. Once I hit 25, I took Accutane again a second time when I was, so it was 18, and then. No, I took it first when I was 16, then 18. That was the second time. I think the post-puberty trauma around 24, 25, kind of started to equalize everything out, So
did the Accutane work?
First time it worked for a little while. The second time it kind of really took, it kills your sebaceous glands. That's the whole point, But it's not a pleasant experience. It's one of the most horrible things I've ever been through taking that stuff. So,
wow.
But it helps people. It really is. It's a good product, but you just got to be on top of it. But I think if I would have had better skin, what's the word I'm looking for?
Supple.
If I would, look beautiful.
A skincare regimen.
All the time.
Yeah. If I would have had more facts as opposed to, just not what was advertised out there or what I thought was okay, or just saw Neutrogena commercials and stuff like that. If I paid attention to some of the stuff that you should actually be using at those points, a lot of things that have salicylic acid, stuff like that are good things for that,
Sure.
there were a lot of things I didn't pay attention to, but, getting back to the whole shaving and wet shaving, once I got into this, I really appreciated and I really started looking more into taking better care of myself outside as well as in. I've always been somewhat healthy, but I didn't consider, because we have heat out here, being out in the sun. I focus more on putting sunblock on and taking better care of myself in those ways, because that's not good for you either. Not to have sunblock on all the time, but they actually say, a little bit of sun is good, but you shouldn't be sitting out tanning,
right. Which sucks. There is no God. Tanning, you can't do tanning, you can't smoke cigarettes, you can't dance, you can't. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
JK.
But I think about people that you saw pale, like when you look at like celebrities and stuff like that too. When you look at actors and stuff, the one that really sticks to me is Winona Ryder. She was always really pale, but look at her now. She still looks young. I'm not saying that.
It's the radiation. I was actually watching something earlier about inner Earth. But yeah, it's the radiation that ages us. If we weren't, if we were living inside the deep caverns of the Earth, we would age slower.
I wish.
Kind of.
Sometimes.
I mean, dude, I'm gonna die really, really young. I am always in the sun coaching football.
Loaded with vitamin D.
Like that's really depressing to hear.
Sorry. Actually, I'm sorry though. There is something. Altitude has to do with it as well. So the higher up you are, the slower you age as well. So I guess both extremes, David. So either go up.
Oh, great! I don't live very high either. That's fantastic.
What are you talking about? Long Beach?
Wow.
I thought everyone was pretty high over there. Regardless.
I'm reading all these comments, and Manic just said, Houston is like getting smacked in the face with a hot, wet towel.
Cool. I'm really excited about this upcoming meetup then.
Yeah.
And I have to thank you, Adam, because you introduced me to Smiles Prid. And the strangest thing in the world. You guys know what I'm talking about here? Smiles Prid?
No clue.
Okay, you've seen it. We've all seen it. It's just one of those things you pick up in your peripheral vision. Like you never actually focusing on it until Adam did one day, and he's been using it apparently. And what it is, it's almost like Carmex, the lip balm, like the same flavor when it comes to the design. It's orange. It's an orange round tin, and it Smiles Prid. And this stuff is a balm that's used to remove, splinters. And it's a drawing balm, if you will. So it draws out. The energetics behind it is drawing. And I had a splinter when I was at the meetup with Adam. I was talking about that, and he recommended Smiles Prid. And first of all, the name is so absurd. It's like Smiles Prid. It sounds like something from like Dr. Seuss, like a Prid, a star-belly Prid. But when I found it, the stuff is awesome. I don't know if it worked on the splinter I had, but what it did work on, and this may be kind of gross, guys, but ingrown toenail. Has anyone out there ever suffered from an ingrown toenail? And if so, you might have had it surgically fixed.
Yep.
I remove it myself.
I did it myself too. And what I did was I was going online. I learned, you put the Band-Aid under the nail. You have to soak the foot for like an hour. Mm-hmm. And then you try to get under the nail with a Band-Aid and stick it there. And I was doing all that stuff. And it kind of worked, got it out. But there was still an infection down there. It was still red and tender. I'd go to the gym. My sneakers would hurt. Like, it just sucked. Like, I was always conscious of this problem going on my toe. But I got the Smiles Prid, and I ended up just putting it like in the, right in the corner of my toenail, and just wedging it in there and just leaving it. And after like 3 days, the swelling went down and the infection was gone. So like the Prid like drew out whatever was in there causing the problem, and it's gone. Like that stuff, it's miraculous. I was a little apprehensive because it does contain petroleum jelly, and I'm always a little like, petrol products, but it worked. So if you have an ingrown toenail, guys, try it out. Smiles Prid. Google it.
If you have ingrown hairs, that's what I've used it on a few times. And ingrown hair, that stuff, even if you have it on your neck or your face or whatever, just put a Band-Aid over it. I've had ones come out like in like a day, like 8 hours, 6 hours. I'm saying it's a drawing salve. It's the Ixtamal. The stuff stinks. It's horrible, and it looks like something.
I like it. I like the smell of it.
I don't like the smell.
To me,
of course, Douglas is the man that came out with the so-called dirt.
Prid, man, Prid. That's gonna be my next joke. But I get more of like a tar, like almost from it. But yeah, it is something else. And It's quite miraculous. Everyone should have it in their medicine cabinet, is all I have to say. I don't know what. I guess it does have something to do with wet shaving to a certain extent when it comes to ingrown hairs. What was that?
You looked at me like I was crazy. Whenever I said it, I go, "Have you tried Smythe's Prid?" And you go, "Is that a real thing?" So I remember that. Yeah. That stuff is that I think every guy should have that period, whether for splinters or little pieces of glass. I'm saying I've heard some, I've read some great stories with that stuff, and I've had some good stuff with my experience. So
experiment with it. You can do they want me to. Hey, guys, Steve, it sounds exactly like I'm saying it, and that's why I didn't know it was a real thing.
Smiles apostrophe
R-I-D.
I'm looking at now.
Yeah, it's like $8 or something like that. It's super cheap. Yeah, and I'm telling you, I've had the same tub for like a year. You only need a little bit.
I use it on everything now. I think it's great. I'm just experimenting with it, like see what it works with because it just is. It totally blew my mind because I had this toe problem for like 6-7 months. It just was not going away, even though I had the nail out. It was still like infected down there and whatnot. But I'm telling you. Just like it always amazes me when you finally find that one thing that works. It's kind of like at the Big Shave West, taking it there. I was sick as a dog when I arrived in California, and I ended up going into a walk-in clinic, and I probably told this story already, but they gave me a Z-Pack of antibiotics, and after a day of taking them, I felt freaking awesome. I felt better than I did in 2 years, which tells me I've needed antibiotics for a long time, and I don't know what was going on with me, but and now I'm healed. It's amazing. It's been like 2 years of not feeling right, and then finally, after antibiotics, it was amazing. So I felt better at this year's Big Shave West than I did last year's because I was healed. And I'm sorry, David, I didn't go out drinking.
Well, of course.
And this year because you were completely dry as a bone.
That was such a fucking bummer.
What's that?
About this year? Everybody wanted to fucking go to sleep by 8 o'clock.
I was healing,
dude.
I felt too good. I didn't want to take 2 steps back.
I really wish Ray Pope was here, dude, because everybody was so tired at 8 o'clock. All we did is stand around and talk to fucking people. Everybody acted like we ran marathons. Jesus Christ.
I was dying. I had walking pneumonia.
There was nothing wrong with your ass.
Hey, I'd been traveling all week. I was tired.
You were detoxing from fucking all the drinking.
Yeah, right. Okay, so we got Adam on the show, guys. We can't keep talking about Smythe's Prid and antibiotics and whatnot. So
You're welcome, though, by the way.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
It's a good call.
It's all coming full circle because Adam's the one that's bringing this stuff up. So as long as we're just the conversation is driven by him, I say we're doing our jobs here. I think he's getting it.
Yep. True.
Excellent.
I like it.
Excellent. So what brought you to the soap making?
At first, I was like, all right, because I started getting fascinated with all this stuff, and I was like, this is going to get expensive pretty quick. You know what I mean? So I was it is. So I started doing some research, and I talked to people online, and I was like, hey man, just soap makers. I read blogs on the Soap Queen, just all the usual suspects on where you go to learn to make soap. I went on YouTube and watched people do it, and the first part I came up with was all the cold process soaps, and I was like, I don't think this is right. I don't think it's going to take 6 to 8 weeks to make shave soap. I was like, there's no way, So I started, kind of doing some research and stuff like that and getting feedback from people and discussing things. And I basically got a starter list, and then I started thinking about it more. And I also looked at the soaps I like Your Soap, Soap Commander. Edwin Jagger was one I had as well at the time. Up, Gail. Yeah, I saw her. I was talking to her yesterday. I looked at all the usual suspects, all the quality soaps out there. What did they have in common? And what are the things I liked in the soaps that I used, and what were the things that I don't like? And then I looked up and researched what those qualities were and what they brought to it. Does that make sense?
That makes perfect sense.
Yeah. So Scott actually got the first batch I ever made of Over the River and Through the Woods. And I did everything you're not supposed to. Yeah. I added fragrance to it. I added colorants to it. I did all sorts of
clay.
Stuff. Yeah. Nope.
No clay.
Nope. Okay. No. I still have the bag that I bought, though. I still have that.
You don't have a brand new bag? Sorry, go on.
Yeah, right. But there were some great qualities about it. The one thing that wasn't was the scent profile was way off from what I wanted, which was probably going to happen either way. but it was a good soap to shave with, but the post shave was very drying, you know? So then I went back and kind of reformulated it. And then I got bored with that. So then I started playing with my menthol just because I wanted to do something new. So I threw all sorts of menthol and other things and totally changed the formula up. And that was a bad idea. And then I got frustrated for a second. And then I really went back to what people told me that they didn't like with the soap. I was like, all right, man, let's just be serious with this and let's have some stick to itness, you know, and let's take a look at what's going on and play with it. And I did. And I started playing with it and I just started churning it. And I got to tell you, man, that's anybody that makes soap or anybody that respects the process of creating a formula of any kind. It's tough, you know, because you have a lot of waste, you know.
It's expensive. Yeah.
Yeah. And I tried not to waste it. But I'll tell you this too. This is one thing I'm really proud of. I shave with every batch I make. You know, I have one little piece I shave with every batch I make. I'm a big person for that because I just want to make sure everything's good, you know. Because I'll know pretty quick. And my skin's sensitive enough. If it bothers me, I don't want it out there, you know.
Right.
So, but I tweaked it. And then I was like, hey, Scott, you want to try this out and tell me what you think, you know? Because I love watching his videos. I think the way you do them is so... You have the point system and you stick to it. And you also say it works for me or it doesn't. You know, I like that. You know, you point those out and you make these distinctions very well. I really appreciate that, you know. No, thank you. Learned a lot. But I sent him that and he liked everything, but he said, you know what? The scent profile is just not strong enough. I could use a little more. So I went back and I just kicked it up. But by that point, the formula was there. And I sat on this formula for a while and, you know, I handed it out to a lot of people like around me, like buddies of mine. I converted a buddy of mine to you know, DE shaving. He was like, no, man, I do the Dollar Shave Club. I like that. And I was like, dude, do this, man. I'm like, you know, he got one of the Razor Rock razors for like $20, you know, and, you know, ones that they sell on Italian Barber. I go, if you're on a budget, this is the way to do it. I still haven't finished the soap.
Yeah.
You know, and this is a couple years into it. And I was explaining that to him. I'm like, you just need a few supplies, you know? And I just had a bunch of people try my soap and I got really good feedback. And so I mastered that Pirate Cowboy. And then I went to Rhymes with Orange and that popped out really nice. That was a first try, went really well. Mm-hmm. And so then I stuck with that. So then I was like, okay, my instincts are pretty good, you know?
I get it.
Yeah.
Sorry, go on.
No. Yeah. But what ended up happening was I still didn't want to sell it because I was nervous. I wanted to make sure I checked off all my boxes and made sure everything was okay. And I can't remember when I put it on. I want to say like January sometime. I popped it in there. Does that sound right to you, Scott? Like January sometime?
Yeah.
Yeah. I popped it out there and I just waited to see what happened. And people started to like it. It was kind of slow at first, but I got feedback that was saying it was good, you know, and that was the best part. I didn't care if I was selling 100 of them at a time. What I cared about most was that one person was buying it and liking it and that people were appreciating it, you know, and that started to happen more and more. And people really started giving me great feedback. And then I was like, cool, well, maybe I should make another one. So then I came out with Praying Mantis, you know, and that worked out really well. And then people liked that one. And then right before the, I think a few weeks before the
Awesome.
Wet Shave meetup in Shave by Shave West, I
Up
came
and
up
Atom.
with Up and Atom. Yeah. And that was from Ryan, my buddy that I converted to shaving. I was like, dude, I don't know what to call it, man. I was thinking about, because I have the menthol one. I was like, what about iced coffee and all these silly things, you know? But I try to avoid having what the product is or the soap is, the name with the scent. I don't like that because people think that, you know what I mean? Like they think the name, they think scent, and then it's done. But he said Up and Atom, and I was like, sweet, I like it.
Yeah, no, that one was cool. You know, and I thought about it after the fact. I brought Spring Heel Jack, the cologne, the aftershave. I brought it to that to give to you, but I ended up like raffling it away or something like that. I thought about that. I was like, wait, that was for... So you didn't even leave with it, but I was like, oh man.
I plan on getting some. I really want to get the balm. The balm that you have, the Spring Heel Jack, the whipped butter.
Oh, the coffee butter. Yeah.
Yeah. That sounds really good, man. I love all that stuff. The whipped butters.
Probably really good on your skin too, because it has the natural SPFs and the shea and the coconut and whatnot. And also just absorbs really fast. But good stuff.
If I could just say something for Adam's process here. So, like he said, I got to try like a small sample of one of his first batches of soap, and he sent it to me, and the scent was actually really nice. I kind of dug it, but like he said, it was just a little bit drying for me, and so I gave him that feedback, and like he sent me the next batch, or after a couple batches, I guess, of trying it out, he sent me the bottle after that, or the tub after that, and it was like night and day difference. It was so much more improved. So it was really cool for me to have an artisan that was making stuff that took my feedback and ran with it, and made the changes that people were communicating to them. That's one really cool thing about having artisans in our community, is that we can communicate this feedback back and forth, and people don't get offended. They understand that it's what works for me may not work for you, but then
it's priceless.
Back and you run with it. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's definitely priceless when it comes to feedback, especially feedback for free. Everybody's happy. They're getting to try out a product. They're part of the process, and you get some killer feedback. I really appreciate that.
I actually, I honestly, I love it. I love the constructive feedback, because you don't, I'm serious. Like what people don't understand is when you're giving me constructive feedback, you're giving me more direction. Mm-hmm. You're giving me, you're centering and honing my compass north. Like
constructive is the key word, though. That's what I'm talking about too. Constructive feedback.
Yeah, you don't come back and tell them that the product sucks. You say, this is what I would change if it were me. Yeah. This is what I would want out of it.
And that's great the way it is. Sometimes if you get people a little room for critique and feedback, they feel they have to find something to critique. And you know what I'm saying? I get that a lot. Especially in art school, that's what it was like. You do a crit, and something, it's just because it was a crit called a critique. They always had to critique. They always find. It's like the comment section on the pictures or whatnot in forums. Like just because it says comment there doesn't mean you have to. But some people feel like they do. It's a command or something. I'm sorry. Go on, Adam.
No, are you messing with bitters?
Yeah. This stuff's awesome. After you just ate, I just had some Chinese food, so good stuff.
It's good for hiccups. Put it on a lime and suck on it.
Great for hiccups. As an antacid too. It's something else. And Lindberg is just the best, because if you save like 3 billion of these caps, you can get a little tiny fire truck with the Lindberg logo on it. So I'm saving the caps.
Nice.
But after that, so I've always been really cautious about this. I was really nervous because I've never really done anything like this, and I can, sales wise, I've always been good to talk to people and communicate and do all that business. But what I was really nervous about was going in front of people and actually sharing what I had. And Shave by Shave West kind of crushed all that in Austin. Getting able to meet people and just talk to a few people. I'm so happy that was the first one, as opposed to trying to do Big Shave West at first.
Would you have gone? Would you have gone to Big Shave West if you didn't do Austin?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would have done. I don't care.
Yeah.
I would have showed up with no table cover and just like one of each of my soaps. And like, here we go. What's the worst?
Austin's. You walked into Shave by Shave West, like you knew what was going on. Like you knew what time it was. I mean, I looked up and there was suddenly another soap guy at another table. I was like, hey, it was Adam.
I'm a big. I'm a game face guy. I'm one of those people that's either 110% into something, or it just serves me no purpose, and it's just not my thing. Sure. And I felt like if I was going to pursue this, I wanted to do it 110%. And that was a good way to do it. Someone actually invited me. It was Monty Morast. So if he's out here, kudos, man. I was really grateful that he introduced me to that. And then I sent a message to John Perry, and I got into the meetup there, and I was really excited, and everybody seemed pretty excited. A lot of people were like, I'd never heard of you before. And I was like, well, cool. That means that was good feedback of like, hey man, you need to get yourself out there more. So I did. And then we talked, I think we talked like a week before about going to Big Shave West. I was the one that sent a message or something.
Yeah, we did. Big Shave
Which West. Was kind of.
Well, were we talking about Austin, or were we talking about Big Shave West?
Big Shave West. Remember, I sent Damon a message, or I called Damon.
Oh, this is after Austin. You're talking about?
No, it was before. Remember, we hadn't even done. Yeah, I don't even think we did it yet.
Oh.
Or did we do it? I don't know. We could have done it. It doesn't matter.
I was drunk.
I don't remember. All I remember is that it happened really fast. And then I got back from Austin and I was like, holy crap, man, I got a lot of stuff to do. Mm-hmm. And I realized there were some things, kind of watching you. I just paid attention to what you did, really. I just watched. Yeah. It probably isn't the safest thing to do.
No, I'm a horrible role model, man, especially when it comes to soap making.
No, I asked you a few questions about some stuff. Like, how do you present yourself at these things? What do you do? And you gave me some pointers. And that's how I showed up for Big Shave West. And I just wanted to make sure that people understood that I was serious about it, and I'm here to present something wonderful. I think I have a good idea of what I like to do. I do my own thing, and I make my own mixes, and I kind of play with my stuff, and I just want it to be fun. I want it to be enjoyable. I don't want it to be taken completely serious.
Exactly. You've learned wisely.
Yeah.
So we're going to turn over the questions to the audience. But before we do, Scott Ostermiller has an announcement to make.
Yes, it is. Okay. So a lot of you know that I've been doing a fundraiser for my son over the past several weeks. And I have an item that I would like to put up as a flash raffle. Okay. So between now and the end of the show, actually, let's say 5 minutes before the end of the show. So in the next 13 minutes, I am going to offer up this beautiful lathering bowl from Captain's Choice. Okay. For every $1 that I'll put the link over in the comments over here, but for every $1 that you put into that on the donation site, you'll get an entry into this raffle. So
is that an arrow on the side of the bowl?
No, it's a compass.
No. Turn it around. That green arrow. No, on the other side. The side facing you.
This side.
Never mind.
It's just this.
There it is. That's the way you're supposed to lather.
No, it's just part of the design of the bowl.
Yeah, that was bad job.
Sorry. Anyway, so for every $1 that you donate, I'll put the link over on the side here. If you donate $1, you'll get 1 entry. If you get $10, then you'll get 10 entries. I'll put it over there, cool. And then we'll do a drawing in 12 minutes. So.
Okay. I was going to comment on one of these questions right here. Jay Does It Better says, is aftershave on the way? Aftershave balm is on the way. I actually have those containers coming soon, but it's going to be a little bit different. Yeah, literally. But I'm trying out something a little bit different. So you got to be patient with me. Like I said, I'm still learning all this stuff as well. Just give me patience and time. When I put it out, it's going to be awesome.
No splashes, Adam?
Okay, so the trifecta is going to happen, but I'm doing one phase at a time.
Okay, I'm just wondering because you made a point to say aftershave bombs, so I don't know if you were
in the shaving
splashes or
in the wet shaving community. My Trinity is going to be called the Holy Trinity. That's all I'm going to say. If I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it right. I'm not going to say it's going to be perfect, but I'm going to make sure that I'm patient with it and I give people what they want. I don't want people to get something and say, it's okay.
And it's going to be truly a religious experience, is what you're saying.
It's going to change lives.
And a good question to Adam right here by Mantic. Can you describe the scent of Pirate Cowboy? Yeah. And just for my opinion, Mantic, it's fantastic.
It's Bay Rum, David. You don't like Bay Rum.
Yeah.
No, but what he did is he watered that shit down with some sandalwood. So it's actually nice. Yeah. It's sweet. It's not very abrasive or very clovey. Is not over the top. That sandalwood helped it smooth out so much to where it's just, again, part of the reason why I like sandalwood scents is because they're soothing, they're relaxing. I don't get that effect from lavender. That's how sandalwood affects me, and that just helps smoothen out that scent. Just I loved it. I was really impressed, and it has a touch of sweetness in it too.
Well, and that's the whole point I went with. I wanted to make a scent that was original and I'll tell anybody this: Bay Rum was not going to be my thing. There's a lot of Bay Rum guys out there. I respect it. I got a sample of the Cat of Nine Tails from Captain's Choice in the swag bag. that is amazing smelling stuff, but that is potent stuff.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like when I think actual bay rum, I think brisk, powerful. You know, that's what I think of bay rum. You know, clove and the bay, just strong. What is all this coming up?
Holy
Whoa! Crap. Something about large penises.
Let's get this guy out of here.
Yeah.
Only raping.
Hey, don't go there. Don't go there.
Yeah, just don't worry about reading it. But
wow, Jesus!
Yeah, somebody's messed up.
Scott, you're a moderator.
Yeah, I'll take care of it. I'll take care of it.
Okay. So go at it.
Yeah, but like I have mad respect for that, and that stuff is some of the bay rums I've smelled are amazing, you know. And I realized I was like, I'm not going that way. There's too many good ones, you know. And then I smelled a bunch of sandalwoods, and I was like, don't want to go that way either because there's so many good ones. And then I was like, has anybody brought them together? And so I never really saw that out there, and it seemed to come together pretty well, you know. And that's what I try to do with a lot of mine. I try to mix things that I don't see together, you know.
Exactly, and you can tell all of your scents are very unique. And Pete, even Sharky commented earlier that he really enjoyed your scents, and that's one thing that really sticks out. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that sticks out, but one thing is your scents are great, and they're very unique to your own thing. There's a lot of soap makers out there that, after a while, and I don't mean any disrespect, but it's like, how many bay rums do we need? How many sandalwoods do we need? And I really respect the fact of what you're doing here with the combining and just mixing it up, just blending. You're just taking your time with your own unique scents, and I like that.
Well, one thing I noticed too that I kind of started to see, and I'm still, you know, a couple years into this, what I started to see is the same thing that happened with craft beers. When people made IPAs, they tried to get as hoppy as possible. You know what I mean? I don't know if y'all saw that, but you saw it.
Why can't I drink anymore? I like burned a hole in my stomach.
Yeah. Well, that's also what you saw here with menthol and like cooling essential oils and all that. Like people were just trying to go over the top, which that's cool. I think that's a great market. It's a fun, you know, it's a cool niche, but you know, I think people look for that or they don't. And that's why I kind of went with light menthol, you know, in mine. I just wanted something cooling. I wanted to get back to that. I love the frostbite. Don't get me wrong. I love that, like that chill, but frostbite is actually still not like freezing cold. You know,
well, yeah, because you really can't make freezing cold because the alcohol in menthol kills the lather. So it's really a delicate balance when you're doing a mentholated soap anyways. And some of these other soaps, they go over the top. It seems like the trend now is to like extreme or polarizing. People want to be polarizing. They want to create these polarizing scents. And that's the last thing I ever want to do. But now it seems like the thing to do is like, it's polarizing. It's like, you know, I think it's the wrong reason to do something. You know?
Well, and honestly, it's successful because, like, I'm sorry, but like that one shaving Yeti soaps, I find
Yeti style,
yeah, I find them to be incredibly subpar. But I know a long time for Justin Park, they were like his best seller for a very long time, just because everybody got excited about it. I didn't like the products at all, and you know. Yeah. That's why people go for that shock value stuff because it sells.
I bought it. I had Yeti snot.
There you go.
Yeah, but my thing with the menthol for my soaps, at least, when I mixed it in there, the bubbles got so big so fast. Like the lather just would not stick. It just ran off my face. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I don't know. You know, I don't know.
Trial and error. Trial and error.
Yeah.
Menthol. So, but no, I hear you. But light menthol, well done, Prid Minthas.
Yeah. Yeah.
Any questions out there, guys, in the audience? Horses entering the gates. Oh God, he's here, folks, and he's wearing his fatigues, I'm sure, and topless. It's Jam and G.I. James. Everybody, say hi, James. Oh, 6 minutes. Okay, I feel like we passed a lot of the questions.
Yeah, let's.
Someone was asking about your olive oil.
Yeah, that was.
Yes, they did ask. How are you able to handle the olive oil in your soap? Since for so many, especially new soap makers, making olive oil shave soap has been very difficult to pull off, and apparently you've been able to do it. So, what exactly happened there?
Luck. God bless you.
I can't tell you a lot of that, man. That's very proprietary.
Just give us your credit card.
Yeah. I'll tell you this much. It took me a long time to make it work. And if you heard what Scott said, that's a big part of the reason it dried out our skin. That was the big one. And that was when Scott said it dried out his skin. And a lot of people were telling me the first batch dried out their skin. That was what it was.
What was it?
Olive oil.
Oh, it was drying out the skin?
Yeah, just the ratio of just where it was. As well as I wasn't getting still too many bubbles. You know what I mean? Still too much air in the lather as well compared to what it is now where it's real creamy, you know?
Right.
The olive oil was one of the big tweaking things I had to do, as well as the coconut oil, because even coconut oil, you know, it's a dance. Yeah. You have that little dance.
And doing the research that you did, I'm sure the olive oil issue probably came up in some of the research you did. What made you keep it as opposed to replacing it with anything else? Jojoba oil or God knows what else is out there?
Well, first off, I'll tell you, honestly, I didn't have the money to keep buying oil in the beginning.
Yeah.
That was just the reality of it. And that's the truth. You know, when it comes down to it, I had a budget to start doing this. I'm looking into adding other things into mine to replace sweet almond oil, which is that's one thing I want to get out next.
Why nut allergies?
Yeah, just to be safe. You know, they say there's like limited reactions to it, but they do happen. You know, I've done a lot of research.
I love it.
Yeah, sweet almond oil.
Yeah, it's great as like a beard and a mustache as a leave-in conditioner. Love that stuff. Oh man,
when I got sunburned last summer, I poured a little bit in a bath.
Yeah,
with a little bit of olive oil, and that just completely moisturized my body.
I love that stuff.
My skin didn't peel.
Sesame oil.
And
too.
Just another question for my own personal information: the olive oil, like that you use for soap, is it a more refined oil, or is it like what I use for cooking?
It's extra virgin olive oil.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's first pressed.
Yeah.
Okay.
I buy big 5-gallon containers of that stuff for our body soaps.
Yeah. Well, that's what
everyone thinks I'm roasting a turkey with it, you know, or frying a turkey with it. I buy it at Thanksgiving time. It lasts all year. So
envy shape. Nathan's asking about hearing more about my bath. So,
but Mantic is asking also, have you tried the J hooking that he showed you at the meetup in?
I haven't, man. I've been I'm always in such a hurry shaving that I've had little weepers here and there. I'm working my way to it. I actually have some time off this next week, and I'll try that because I was actually thinking about that.
All on the wrist.
Yeah, just a. Yeah. You know,
I'm
yeah.
Sorry.
I've just been so busy, and I didn't want to try any new techniques or any new tactics until then. You know. But I definitely, it was on my mind this week.
Nice. Scott?
Yeah, I'm checking.
Okay.
Let's see.
I like the olive oil question. People ask me that all the time. And I'm just like.
Sorry. Go ahead.
You're pretty much the don't ask because I can't tell you shit.
No, I feel bad that I'm saying all I can share is that I started out and I looked at other oils, but I already had all this extra virgin olive oil, and I'm a pretty stubborn person. That's the truth of it, is I don't want to spend more money, and I'm like, I'll make this work.
You know, for someone who comes from Houston, you sound like a Yankee.
Yeah. Yeah.
I got to use this olive oil. I bought it.
Yeah. I'm not throwing it out. I wasn't going to cook with it either. I was like, I had gallons of it. You know, like, what am I going to do with it?
No, I hear you, man. I hear you. Jam and G.I. James is asking if you use a straight razor.
I've used the shavette. I've used the Crown King shavette a few times. I haven't gone to straights yet, man.
Speaking of Crown King.
Yeah. I saw that online. That's pretty, man. Is that a wooden handle?
Yeah, this is Tollywood. Tollywood. Yeah. But yeah, I just released them again. I got them back in stock. But yeah, that's the new logo. You digging it?
Yeah, I like that. That's awesome.
Sorry, go on. Straights.
But I just haven't had the budget, man. I'm saying, like, right after I got into this for about a year, I started making soap. I want to, but like I said, you know, that's on the list of many things I want, you know. And
yeah, that's something you do need some time to learn.
Yeah. I would love to have one, you know. I would love to get into it and start doing it, you know, but Also time. I know it doesn't take a lot of time. It becomes a routine. But as of right now, I saw you post something, Scott, actually a while back, where you were saying until I have more time, this just isn't. It's just not viable right now. You want to have time. And with the shavette, like I'm just not skilled enough with that yet either. Where it takes me 15 minutes, to shave with it. It's just because I'm learning how to use that. I'm learning how to hold it. I'm not ambidextrous either. So
yeah, and you're shaving your entire face. I like to shave it. I learned it fast because I have facial hair, and I was learning how to shape with it, and so that gave me more control immediately. Where I could apply that to the rest of my face. But I can't even imagine scraping all my face with a shavette like a lot of folks do. With mad respect and props to them. But yeah, I really like. It was just the detail work that taught me how to use it.
Well, and I'm one of those people that kind of goes all in once again. So like the shavette, like when I first had it, I shaved it for a couple days in a row. First day, not too bad. Second day, not good. I'm saying I replaced the blade, everything, of course, but it's not a 2 day in a row thing for me, and straights wouldn't be a 2 day. But I know if I got a straight razor, I'd do it for like a week straight, and that's something
you got to get it. You need time to do it and learn it. 100 shaves, you say. Oh, Steve Hardy, it's not Hollywood, it's Tollywood, which is, we can relate it back to the Druids, or at least their modern day ancestors, because Tollywood is also used for the cricket bat. FYI, a little trivia for you. It also resists molds. It's a very good wood to use in damp situations, if you will. And what else we got?
I'm just looking at all these comments. They're so fast. They shoot through so quick. I'm trying to find questions. Feather Camisori. The Feather Camisori, I actually got to see those in person at a Big Shave West. Those things are impressive looking. The feather straights or the shavettes, those things are nice looking.
Also, you are correct.
Yeah, but pricey. What is it? Like $200, right? Somewhere in there. But
he had one at the Big Shave West, didn't he? The guy, the feather guy. Yeah.
They're really pretty looking, but I'm saying, man, I just, there's a lot of things I want to get right now. I also got to do
an entire show about that. In fact, we should do a wish list show. That'd be hysterical.
It'll be fun.
Before Christmas, we'll do it. Or Hanukkah, or Kwanzaa, whatever you're into. So we're winding out, folks. If you have any more questions, get them in now. Otherwise, I'm turning the show over to Scott. Do we want that? Do we want that?
I've only got 2 entries so far, so.
Yeah, how many?
2. Well, 2 people have donated and put in $10 each, or $20 each, excuse me. So I'm still waiting for a couple more. If anybody else wants to get in there.
I might get in there right now. It's a kill. Hold up the bowl. This is a killer ladder bowl, folks. Get in on the flash raffle.
The little ridges.
I've never even heard of the flash raffle, but this is brilliant.
So they're saying the feather straight went for 70 and 110. Sorry, I apologize for saying.
Dude, did you see how expensive their double edge razors are? They had a couple different models of the feather double edge razors, and those shit. One of them was like $300, dude. I was like, hell no.
Yeah.
Interesting. So I do want to say your bowl reminds me of a bowl that I was gifted at the Big Shave West. Brian of Jeeves gifted me his fougere, his new fougere, wedged into the bowl, and I believe it was a custom Shave Market bowl. I don't know who made it, but it's a great little bowl, and I appreciate that. Thank you, Brian. I'll be doing some shaves of the day photos with that at some point when my life slows down. Okay.
Is that a Captain's Choice bowl?
Yep.
That's a Captain's
Choice bowl.
Yeah.
Were they always like funky like that, or were there solid colors before?
They have a lot of different colors. Like I've got a cobalt blue one. Let's see, right here. I have my Stubble Trubble samples in there.
James, I plead the fifth.
There we go.
Yeah. Have you used them yet? Oh, obviously, yeah.
Oh yeah, that's the one I recognize.
Stuff. Love this. Yeah. But
James and I were dorm mates. Not many people know that.
Really?
No, not at all. That's not true. It's number 13.
Let's see.
Very cool. Well, folks, we got a little late start today, so we're going to go over a little.
Okay, just taking the last look here really quick. Okay, the only ones Jeeves, PM me if you're having trouble with it. And shoot me a quick PM and make sure we're getting in there.
Oh, I also want to announce, though, for those of you that did attend the Big Shave West, tomorrow, Sunday, is the last day to submit your footage. If you took any footage to bigshavewestfootage.com. It's the Dropbox that we're all sharing. Let me know if that doesn't work for you tonight. But bigshavewestfootage.com. Tomorrow's the last day to submit footage. We're working on the documentary currently, and Marissa is, and we just want to get all that in there to make sure we don't overlook any killer footage that's out there for the eventual or final documentary. Is anyone else being creeped out by this bozo doll that I have?
You know, the one thing I'll say about Big Shave West that I really wished I could have walked around more. And
I know.
You were busy.
That's the thing.
I really couldn't. I couldn't talk to anybody. I really wanted to talk. I finally got to talk to Brian. Yeah, Brian, I got to talk to, and he was right next to me. Matt and Stan from Above the Tie. I couldn't even talk to them, and they were like a foot away from me because we were just all so busy. You know.
Yes. It's kind of like being in a band. How you want to be in the audience to watch yourself play to see what the experience is like from the outside, and then maybe you are replaced and eventually do get that opportunity. But that's what it's like. I mean, I really every year, and Con and I were talking about this a week before it happened. Like, it's going to go by really fast, and you're not going to get to talk to everyone you want to. And like, I was running by people like, "I'll be right back. We'll catch up in a second," and I never saw them again. You know, it's like it's really just tough, especially when you're working it. I wish it went longer. A 3-day event would be great but still, then we still wouldn't be able to catch up with anybody. You know,
I think what would be good would be to have like I'm not saying I know any better because you know what, it's just really difficult to do all that because you extend time, you have more people there for more time. But like, I don't know, maybe like a brunch or something. You know, but even then, if you have a brunch, we're not going to eat because people are going to be asking us questions the whole time.
Yeah. You're right.
But
that's what's great about getting there earlier, though. Like with all of us get to hang out. Most of the vendors and artists, and some of the people that were in attendance got to hang out too for brunch and lunch, and like the 2 days before that and whatnot. That was really cool. But yeah, you're right. Even then, it's tough to really talk to everybody.
I have someone asking about what scents I'm coming up looking into in the future. I'm going to be doing 2 more scents, and that's going to be it for like a few months. But that's not going to be for the next month or two. And I'm still playing with those. But I'm trying to keep like a core line. I want to keep it clean and positive, and then move on to aftershave bombs and do all that stuff. So I'm not Phoenix Artisan accoutrements. I can't pop. You do such a great job of doing that, man. You manage that very well, and you.
This is the secret, man. This is the secret right here. It's madness, I think. So again, this is the secret. Gail, you are correct. We do need to schedule a specific time for all the vendors to meet up, either before or after the meetup. I mean, I guess we tried that at Damon's, but still, we couldn't get everybody there. But the guy from Feather, like every year, I see him there, and I want to talk to him, but I never get a chance to. I'm always saying goodbye to him as he's leaving. In the end, like, here you go, have the rest of your Feather stuff. We'll talk next year, but it never happens. You need to time that better. I'll make that happen.
I was also going to tell you, Douglas, August 6th. The first Saturday of August, we are having a meetup here. It's going to be space. Yes. Right. It's going to. So I want to call it the Space City meetup. I'm still working on that. I'm throwing my hat over the fence. August 6th. I don't have a location yet, but I'm talking to a few people. It's going to be somewhere out here near NASA, but I'm not sure I can use Space City because apparently a comic book convention out here got sued for using it. So, they may be trademarked somehow. So I'm thinking
Space Conurbation.
Yeah.
It's in Conurbation City or something. Never mind. Space Metropolis. Space Tropolis. Shave Tropolis. I don't know. We'll work on it. We'll make it happen. Oh, wait.
Buddy, go ahead.
Shave Trek?
Trek. I don't know. You got it. I don't know.
Shave Planet. Yeah, we'll work on it.
You can't just do it. You can't use Space City Shave?
Space City is
Space City Shave. But the shave itself, with the shave at the end of it, it'll still come into play.
They called it like Space City Comic-Con or something like that, and they got sued. I think that's what I'm being really.
Spell City with an S.
Ooh, that would work. Let me look it up real quick. Yeah, Space City lawsuit. Hold on. No, but Convention Bureau sues Comic Convention over Space City trademark.
But you know what, though? They were making money off that. A meetup is we're not, it's free.
Yeah.
So no money's being made over the name. So you're all good. You're all good.
Okay.
Of course, I get a cease and desist every other day. So I'm the wrong person to be taking advice from this sort of thing.
Yeah.
But I do think that since it is free, you'll be okay.
I'll just say Space City Shave meetup hosted by Douglas.
Yeah. Brought to you by Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also the detail I told you about having someone come and talk that's actually been in space and to talk about that thing. Now that we have a date, that will probably happen. Nice. That I would say I'm like 95% sure that's going to happen. You just need an effective date. And that was the main reason I set that date. I looked at it because you said August will work pretty well for you as well. Yes,
of course. Now that we have this SoCal meetup coming up, I'd like to tie them in together. Astroglide. Oh, Astroglide. That's the pre-shave, Mantic. Astroshave. Astroshave is the stuff they use up in space. I'm pretty sure. Wait, is it that? What's one of those good? What's one of the goo in the cans? The black one, the black can, the gel.
Edge?
Astrogel.
Edge Pro Gel.
Astro Edge. I think Edge makes it. I think it's Astrogel.
Astroglide is not that.
No. That's a pre-shave.
They may need it in space though,
or post-shave, depending how smooth you are. But Astrogel, I'm pretty sure Astrogel is the stuff they're sending up into space for the guys up there to use on in the space station and whatnot. I could be wrong.
All right.
I know everything is like super controlled up there. Like everything is accounted for, like super controlled. It's just talking to people out here. Everybody out here works at NASA. Just everybody out here works at NASA. Like I'm saying, like we literally we live like a minute away, like a hop and a skip.
Yeah.
My girlfriend's dad's worked there for his whole adult life, and it's insane the amount of details that go into all this stuff. And just I'm surprised they don't have little machines like the Jetsons that shave them up in space. But
it's funny because a few years back, probably about 4 years ago. It was this big April Fool's joke they did up at the space station. If anyone who owns a blog will understand this, but on the back end of your blog, typically, depending on what apps you're using, you can see where the hits are coming from, where the traffic is coming from. And I kept getting hits from the space station. And I was like, I was like, really? The astronauts are checking me out? Like, for like 24 hours, I was getting all these hits from the space. Like, they kept checking me out. It turns out it was this huge, like, April Fool's joke they played on everybody in the world. But,
okay.
Something else.
Ready to do the drawing.
How many we got, Scott?
We got 60 places. $60 was raised for the bowl. All right. So I have random.org. I've got set up here. Numbers 1 through 60. Can you guys all see that?
Oh, yes.
Okay. All right. And generate a random number between 1 and 60. 16. All right. So the winner is number 16, which is Rob Alderman.
what?
Okay, so
nice.
29 or 929 or whatever the username is there.
Right on. How many people did we have?
Let's see. There were 4 people that got in on it. So
very cool.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Thanks, guys.
That's
all right. So Rob, go ahead and PM me on Facebook. Give me your mailing address, and I'll get it out to you. Okay.
Hey, Rob is cool people, man.
Yeah.
He's a buddy of mine.
He's
good people.
Thanks everybody for going in on that. Appreciate it. So,
yes,
I'm good.
Astro Edge is what I'm thinking of, and that was you can actually see a video of what is it? Is it Chris Hadfield? Yeah, Chris Hadfield using it in the space station. He did a YouTube video of him shaving in space. But Astro Edge, and so I'm pretty sure since it is registered as Astro Edge, but I think it's Edge that makes it. But it seems that Manta tried to pick it up, and it was out there for $65. That's amazing. Astro Edge, is that what it was? Oh, he's saying Astro Shave Cream. Mantic, is it Astro Edge? The same stuff that Chris Hadfield was using?
Hey, no, just real quick. Hey, Rob, he's also on Instagram, bro.
Yeah.
Under the Clean Shaver. Yeah. So I know, obviously, I know you from Instagram. So send him a DM on Instagram, bro, and he'll be able to get it out to you.
Any of my outlets.
Yeah,
Well,
I just
folks,
Googled
we are winding down. This is the last minute, pretty much, of the Wet Shavers Roundtable, episode 43. We were joined today by our special guest, Adam Lindberg of Stubble Trubble. Adam, where can people find out more about you and purchase your fine soaps?
StubbleTroubleShaveCo.com. You can also go to my Etsy. Go to Etsy and just type in Stubble Trouble, man. I'll be there. My Instagram is Stubble Trouble. You can PM me there, as well as Facebook. I have a page, just Stubble Trouble Shave Co. If you have any questions or any requests for something new, I'm all about that. I'm all about feedback too. I want people to know that if you want to see something out there and you don't see it, I'm willing to try and make it. But if it's something, be creative, make something weird, and I'll totally be down to try it out and make it. So
Nice.
Plum scented soap. I've been wanting to see a plum scented soap.
that could be a possibility.
Well, Dance of the Sugar Plum Fairies. Have David's face on there.
Plums and
That's it.
cranberries or something like that. Yeah.
You can find out more about David Gonzalez at SoSharpLimited.com and pick up one of his snazzy wet shaving t-shirts. Speaking of highly original, they are. And you can also check out Scott Ostermiller some more at The Clean Shaver. TheCleanShaver.com.
TheCleanShaver.com. Yeah.
And he's done a lot of great tutorials and reviews out there. And he was the guy who first reviewed Stubble Trubble and put them on the map, or at least on my radar. So thank you, Scott. And also, when I was Googling earlier images, I came up with a picture of Scott holding this up. So thanks for that, Scott. And, my name is Douglas Smythe, and you can find out more about me and the products I make at PhoenixArtisanAccoutrements.com. And guess who's carrying Stubble Trubble too as of today? Boom! It's up there, folks. So I'm very stoked.
That's awesome.
I appreciate it, Adam, you allowing us to carry it. We're looking very forward to a wonderful future for both of us. I don't know. What's the line at the end of Casablanca? It's going to be a beautiful relationship. Anyways, regardless, thanks again for joining us, folks. We'll catch you next week in episode 44 of the Wet Shavers Roundtable. Until then, any last words, guys? I got nothing.
Shave on.
Shave on!